All right, so good morning, everyone. So, welcome to Code Your Future 40 Minutes Coding Workshop for non coders in partnership, of course, with DICT Region 11 and University of Mindanao. So, I am King and I will be your host for this morning. So, before we proceed with our session for today, I would like to know kung ano ba yung kumbaga, an experience nyo when it comes to Code Your Future. No? If this is your first time joining coding workshop from CYF, please type 1 in the comment section. And type 1 if you're first timer and type 2 if second time. If naman, third timer nyo na medyo matagal-tagal na kayong nagjo-join sa mga CYF coding workshop, you can type 3. Okay, sige. Check muna natin yung comment section kung sino yung mga first timer natin dito. Alright, so yan, may mga okay, so mostly mga first timer no to join. So I hope na you would be enjoying or you will enjoy to code your first code no in 40 minutes. And yan. So aside from since mga first timer kayo, gusto ko malaman kung ano ba yung nafe-feel niyo right now. Kung ano ba yung nafe-feel niyo na magko-code kayo in 40 minutes and this is gonna be your first code, no? So, sige. You can type in the comment section and later on siguro mababasa ko kung ano yung nafe-feel niyo right now. Okay, so aside from that one, please do share our live stream link to your friends and family. And remember to use the hashtag #CodeYourFuturePH. So, yan. Para naman ma-spread natin sa mga friends nyo, yung mga colleagues nyo, no? Now, we are continuously having coding workshop din. Okay, so may mga nagpapa-shoutout dito. So, shoutout daw kay Jude Rafael Alayakyak from Lex. Okay, so I just wanted to give you an overview of CYF, no, especially first time nyo nga din mag-join talaga ng coding workshop in partnership with the ICT and yung coding workshop ni StackTrek. Okay, so CYF, next slide please. CYF is an initiative with the Department of Information and Communications Technology. So this initiative aims to elevate more Filipinos to become tech professionals through tech education. So bakit nga ba pinupush natin no, towards the tech industry? So first, highest salary profession in any industry since high demand nga siya. That's the second thing. So high demand ang ating mga IT professionals or mga tech professionals. Third, work flexibility and can work remotely. So mostly naman kasi as long as you have your laptop, you have your device, and you have a good and strong internet, you can code and you can work remotely then. And then lastly, no formal education required. So you can aside from mga coding workshop, there are also boot camps that would help you in terms of becoming a tech professional or becoming a developer. So joining Code Your Future can be your stepping stone to becoming a successful tech professional. So this could be your baby steps. So as a part of the baby steps is mga joining mga coding workshops. And of course, you're not alone in this tech journey, and you can join our CYF FB community and connect with our fellow Filipinos to get the latest updates. And of course, we are calling for volunteers. Don't forget to, once you join the Code Your Future FB community where you can connect with your fellow Filipinos and career shifters, you would be able to join different sessions naman as volunteer. So you can also get the latest updates on upcoming events and coding workshops. So if you're interested to share your knowledge, if you're interested to share your skills or to showcase your skills, if you want to be a host, then no, pwede naman kayong mag-join sa ating FB community para mag-inquire. Okay. So let's not I know that you guys are very much excited na no to have our coding workshop, but before that we would like to give you an opening message, and to give that we have from DICT Region 11. Just all welcome the regional director, Director Evemy De La Rosa. Good morning po.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, King. Good morning to our participants. Sorry, it's um, okay. Yan. Good morning to our participants from the University of Mindanao. Kumusta kayo? To our colleagues in the DICT, especially our ILCDB, yung ICT Literacy and Competency Development Bureau natin, no? Davao Region staff, kay Beth, kay Nor, and of course their lead, Engineer Albert. Of course, our partner from StackTrek, no, and kanina I've met Cassie and now you've met King, no, and to the rest of the StackTrek people, to everyone, magandang umaga. First and foremost, I would like to thank StackTrek for this partnership. Without StackTrek, we will not be able to do this, no. The Code Your Future initiative of StackTrek is a great opportunity for all our participants, especially the graduating students and even non-graduating students, no, to be ready for high earning jobs and limitless growth as tech professionals. So apart from graduating students, this partnership is also beneficial, as mentioned earlier, for non-coders and career shifters, no. I think it will be presented later yung salary report overview, no. Yung computer and IT jobs is number one in terms of salary rate, no. Tapos yung nabanggit kanina na flexibility, you can work from home, you can work anytime, no. You can work anywhere, you can work in Boracay, no, while having fun. So sa mga nahirapan diyan, may anak din kasi ako na nasa IT, no. Um, Laban lang, lalo na yung mga first year students, minsan nanibago sila sa coding. So, laban lang. So, tingnan nyo lang ano yung future nyo. No? Yung nabanggit ko kanina as to the future of the computer and IT graduates. No? Magandang future nyo. So I hope that this 40-minute online coding session will jumpstart your coding career and help you realize your professional goals. Lalo na sa mga, I heard, merong fourth year students dito. Okay, so without much ado, I welcome you all and I hope you will enjoy this workshop. Good morning.
Okay, so thank you very much, Director
Thank you,
FMA, for that
King.
very warm welcome to our participants. So, okay, so yun nga, as mentioned by Director FMA, no, it's a really good future is ahead of you. And of course, to give us a welcome message or an opening message from the University of Mindanao, let's all welcome the Dean of College of Computer Education, Sir Ramses Vilches.
To our DICT Director, Ivame De La Rosa, StackTrek representatives, and participants from the University of Mindanao, good morning and welcome to this event, Code Your Future, an initiative to transform the next generation Filipinos to successful tech professionals. We are very fortunate to have partnerships with the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, and StackTrek, which have enabled us to bring this initiative to life. IT is currently the highest paid profession in the Philippines, and with the added benefit of remote work, the potential for success in this field has never been greater. Today, we are thrilled to the opportunity to participate in the Code Your Future, a 40 minutes coding workshop. Through this workshop, students will gain valuable insights into the world of IT, learn about career trends, and explore various career programs and opportunities. We are excited to work with the ICT and StackTrek to help build a better future for the next generation of tech professionals in the Philippines. Thank you for joining us today and for supporting this important initiative. I hope you will enjoy the workshop. Once again, good morning.
Thank you, Sir Ramses, for that warm welcome to our participants also. Okay, so I know yung mga first-timers natin dyan for the Code Your Future, no, I know that you're very much excited to try on what you can do in the 40 minutes coding workshop. So now we're diving into the most exciting part of this event. If you have any problems, of course, during the workshop, just type them in the comment sections and our team will be assisting you. And of course, we can proceed now to the coding workshop. So we have here the Biliran Province State University's part-time instructor and one of our bootcamp trainers at StackTrek. Let's all welcome Stephen Johnson D. Bala. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning po. Wait lang po. Let me first share my screen. Wait lang. Okay. So thank you also before we begin, I would like to thank also StackTrek for having me today as your trainer for today's coding workshop. So, welcome to our 40-minute coding workshop for non-coders. This is in partnership with DICT and University of Mindanao. Now, before we start, no, I would like to log muna. Okay lang. Okay. So, okay, yeah, yeah. Before we begin, no, I would like to give the participants some few reminders. No, because the language that we'll be using for today's coding workshop is Python. No? Now, for those who aren't familiar with Python, basically Python is one of the most popular programming language that is currently used today by the industry, and it's also a beginner-friendly programming language. No? And we use Python language to create lots of applications. Can be a web application or desktop mobile application. And now, of course, since the language that we'll be using is Python, we have to take note also of the coding indentation that we're going to apply sa program natin, no? Because Python is a bit strict when it comes to indentation. But don't worry. Later on, as we dive into the coding workshop, later on, I will show you how to properly code your indent your program. Yeah. Okay. Now, without further ado, let us start with presenting to you or sharing to you some of the basic programming language concepts that we need to be familiar with. So first, let's talk about the data types. So one of the fundamental data types or common data types that is used in programming is integers. So pag sinabi natin integers, basically these are just whole numbers. Like for example, we have in this slide here, it's 5. Pwede rin 0 or even negative numbers like -5 or -1, so on and so forth. Then another data type that we need to be familiar with is floating point. So pag sinabing floating point in programming, these are basically referring to numbers that are having decimal places, like 2.5, or if you're familiar with the pi in mathematics, that's 3.14. So, yeah. And also, we have another data type that we need to be familiar with, which is strings. So strings are just sequence of Unicode characters. Like for example, yung name natin, or your driver's license. Okay. So we can use single quotes or double quotes to represent strings. So later I'll show you what exactly does this mean. And then we also have multi-line strings, which we denote using triple single quotes or triple double quotes. Okay, so here's an example of a string. So as you can see in this first line right here, if I'm going to read this string, this is a string. Itong naka-orange na highlighted in the code. As you notice, this string starts with a double quote. And then followed by the character letter capital T and then H and so on and so forth until you have here the pinaka-last na character right here is the string, the double quote na character. So this is how we represent strings. Also, pwede rin a single quote. We start with a single quote and we end with a single quote. Yeah. And we make sure also, take note also that if you start with double quote, you also should end with double quote. Yeah. Then as for the multi-line strings, so this is how we represent multi-line strings in Python. So as you notice, the first part of the string, multi-line as a first part siya, ng S string. Then the remaining characters are nasa baba. although this string is yung first part yung ng string is nasa first line and then the other one is second line, this is considered as a single string lang. Ano lang siya, isang string lang po siya. But the reason that we use multi-line strings is so that we could make our code more readable kasi meron tayong mga sometimes we have strings that are too lengthy, masyadong mahaba, and so we could divide this into multiple lines, and so yun yung purpose ng multi-line strings. Okay, so next, so that's it for data types, no? Now let's talk about another concept in programming, which is conditionals or if-else statement. Now, we say if-else statements. These are statements used in Python for decision making. No? So this is just like if we're going to put this in analogy, no, it's like when you are driving, no. Pag meron kang nakitang traffic at this street, you go to let's say if there's a traffic on the left side of the street, you go to the right. But if there's no traffic, you go straight ahead. So just like in programming, we could also do that. No, we could make our code go to this side or to this side, depende na lang yan sa condition. No? Excuse me. So if the condition is true, let's say going back to my example, if there is traffic, no? So kung true yung condition yan na meron traffic, so the if block code is executed. But otherwise, yung else block yung i-execute. No? So to give you an illustration of how this if-else statement works, here's a we call this one as a flowchart diagram. No? Kasi we represent the flow of the program using some symbols right here. No? So as you notice, we have here the test expression, which is in diamond. This is where the program checks if true ba yung test expression or not. No, so if the expression is true, the program will execute the body of if. Otherwise, punta siya sa body of else, and then it will just continue with the rest of the codes. So parang ganun. Okay. So that would be all for the fundamental concepts that we need to dive in. Now, here is to introduce to you the platform that we'll be using for today's coding workshop. So here is what it looks like now. So the code right here, and then we have custom input, and then we make sure, by the way, no, excuse me, we select Python as our programming language. Okay. Okay, so now let's dive into the next part, no, which is basically I'm going to introduce to you the program that we'll be making for today. No? So I'm sure most of us right now are adults, right? And one of the main responsibilities as an adult, of course, is to budget our savings, our money that we earn, or if you are still a student, the money that you receive from your parents. No? So why do we budget? No? It's obviously because we budget our money by dividing some of our portion of our money to leisure time, or if you have bills, no, and some of that, of course, we allocate it to the savings, no. So, of course, we allocate some portion of our money in savings because perhaps in the future we want to build our own house, or if you're a student, you're saving money so that you could finance your tuition or your daily expenses, so on and so forth. So basically, that's what the program that we'll be making. We're going to create a program that would help us with this main responsibility of us, which is to budget. Now, excuse me now. excuse me. Okay, so apologies for that. Now, to go into the specifics of our program that we'll be making right today. So specifically, our program should be enable us to know if our income is enough, how much percentage, also know how much percentage falls into every bill category. For example, your food, how much percentage did we have spent on our food, or in our water bill, or in our electric bill, or perhaps our transportation, how much we have uh, spent on. And then aside from that, of course, how much savings that we were able to get, with our income. And lastly, our program should allow us to know the income class that uh, our income falls into. So with regards to the income class, just for okay, later na lang. Now for the inputs, so ito yung inputs ng program natin. First, we have the income, and then we have food bill, the water bill, the electricity bill, and then transportation bill. So these are 5 inputs. We're going to need that in our program. Now, as for the income class that I mentioned a while ago, so just for simplicity, ito yung natin, income classes. First, we have the lower income class. Basically, if your income is less than 24,164. Then middle income class, if your income falls into this range, from 24,164.1 pesos to 24,164.01 to 144,983.99 pesos. Yeah. And lastly, we have upper income class. So if your income natin is above this range, 144,984 and above, so yun. Okay. Now, as for the output, ito naman yung output ng program natin. Kanina, we have input, the 5 inputs. Ito yung output natin. So, total income, and then income class, the bill for each category, and its percentage, followed by the total bill. And then we're going to print if the income is enough, and how much is the savings. So if the income is not enough, we print how much money is needed. Okay. Now, we make sure now, we're going to, right after this slide, we're going to dive na into our coding playground. Now, make sure that before we start, we have our 5 inputs ready na lang, so that once we execute our code, dire-diretso na po yung okay. So I guess that would be all from my presentation. And before we go to the playground, let me show you right here. Perhaps you haven't opened yet the coding playground. So on the StackTrek platform, there's this button right here on the right side, which is coding playground. You're going to click that, and then once you click that button, you will be redirected into this coding playground right here, which is this one. Okay. So already here in the, if you have already accessed your coding playground, kindly type playground for those who have already accessed or opened this playground. Again, type playground for, okay, so I guess we already have lots of participants have already accessed. Okay. Second. Let's just wait for a couple of seconds lang before we start. Okay, so I guess majority have already accessed the coding playground. So I guess we should dive we should start now our coding workshop. Okay? Sige. Now, for the first part of our coding work, our program rather, no, I'm going to we're going to create this what we call as constant values. So let me indicate lang muna. By the way, itong ini-input ko in line 1. This is what we call as a comment, no. So usually we add comments in our program so that other programmers like you, participants, can understand what this code is, how this code works, no. So yeah, you just indicate it with a hashtag, and then you can just type in whatever you want. Uh, Perhaps it's an explanation or code. No? So next, we're going to create our constant values. Now, the first constant values that we're going to be making is what we call as lower income. And then let's set this value to 24,164. Next, we have upper income max, which is equals to 144,984. Now, these values right here that I've entered, these are based on the presentation that I've shown you a while ago. And we will use these constant values later on. Okay. Now, next we have here, the next part of our code is we're going to be making our inputs. Okay, wait. Wait lang. I'll just maximize muna. I forgot. Apologies for that. Okay, I guess this is already okay. The font size, no. So, okay, let's go back to our code, no. So once again, we're now at the part of our program where we're going to be making our inputs. We're going to define our inputs rather, no. So the first input is income, no, which is equals to, and then by the way, these inputs right here that we are defining, this is what we call as variables, no. So pag sinabing variables, these are just basically just like a container, no. Like for example, yung mga savings natin, di ba? We have a savings, tapos nasa piggy bank, and then nililabel natin yung piggy bank na ito savings. Tapos ito na container na to, nililabel natin ito for the bills. So our variables, ganun din yung concept niya in programming. Variables just simply store, it holds the certain value. So that's why we have here the name of our container or variable, which is income, no. And then if we want to provide a value, or if we want to store a value to this variable, we're gonna have to enter this equal sign, no? Meaning we're going to assign a value, no? And its value will be equal to input. Okay. So this input function will get this wait lang, I forgot pala ito, no. So I have to input pa pala I have to enter pa pala yung custom inputs. So this is the income followed by the bills. Okay, so let me just add some random values right here, or you can just follow na lang ito kung ano yung in-input ko dito. For the first input, again, this is for the income, and then itong 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, these are our respective bills, no. Okay. Now, going back here to line 6, input, this is what we call as a function, no. And what this function does is this input, no, is it will get our input right here. So this is 25,000. Yung nilagay natin dito, input natin, makukuha natin yan. Our program will be able to retrieve that value and assign that no, because we have here an assignment right here, we will assign that value to this variable that we created, income. Yeah. And another thing we need to also take note is there's a possibility that our input could be float. No? For example, may centavo po siya, like this one. No? So, just in case, no, you have to convert pa itong value na nakuha natin from our input function. So, that's why we have to, how do I call this? Papasok natin siya inside the function na float na function. Okay? So basically what this function does, itong float na function, is to convert the input into a float na data type. Okay. So yan. So this is for our first input, income. Next, we'll define our let's assume na yung second input is para sa food bill. Okay? So of course, we're just going to define the name of our variable as food, or you can put it in food bill. But let's for this workshop, let's just have it yung pangalan ng variable natin as food. And then same pa rin with what we did right here, line 6. We're just going to apply the same way na makuha natin yung second input. No? We just call this one and then surround it with a float function. Then as for the water, same pa rin. By the way, if you're familiar po with the copy and paste, rather than typing this manually, you can simply highlight this with your mouse and then right click with your mouse, and then we have here an option dito, copy, or there's a shortcut right here, Control C. So yeah, so once you have copied this right here, let's say for example, I'll just delete this one, and after that, once you have copy, right, highlight, copy, and then you click this right here, so, and then paste, or Control V. Yeah. So this is a much more easier way rather than tinatype natin manually. No? Okay. So same pa rin with we have here the next one, electricity bill, and ganun pa rin, its value is equal to the fourth input of the user. And lastly, transportation, which is equal to input pa rin. Okay, so that's it for now. For those who have already done with this part, kindly type inputs rather, sorry. Kindly type inputs in the comment section. Okay, so so far we have already lots of participants. So let's just wait for a few seconds na po, no, before we proceed with the next portion. Okay. Okay, sige. I guess we should be proceeding with the next part of our program, no? So, okay. Where are we? Ayan. Okay. Now, we've already done with the inputs. So, we have already defined we have created 5 variables. And for each of these variables, kinuha natin yung input sa user right here, which is dito sa baba. No? So each of these inputs, these variables have their respective values. This is 25,000, this is 1,000, this is 2,000, this is 3,000, and this is 4,000 for transportation. So next is we're going to be, of course, so since your program natin is will output something, so before we output something, of course, we have to make a couple of computations. So yon. So ito yung next part natin, which is going to be computing the following. First, yung i-compute natin is yung total bill. Okay? So yung total bill, we're just going to add lang naman all of these 4 categories of bills, no? The food, water, and electricity and transportation bill. So just like in mathematics, no, when we add variables, no, the x, y, z, if you remember algebra. So ganun din with programming. We have here our total bill variable, and we assign its value equal to the sum of these 4 bills. No, first, let's input yung food, then followed by water, plus electricity, and then plus transportation. So yan. Okay. Then next we have the food percentage. Diba? As mentioned in our program, we're going to compute din yung percentage, how much does each bill, no, ilang percentage yung inallocate niya sa total bill, no? Para malaman natin kung alin dito yung mas malaking consumption natin, diba? So for this food percentage, yung formula na po natin is the following. Ito, we have here, ilagay natin sa open and close parentheses, kasi dito sa open and close parentheses, we have here food, and then we're going to divide it by the total bill. Yan. So yan, this is how we get the percentage. Then, of course, we're going to be displaying this in yung percentage talaga. Kasi if we're going to divide this, decimal po to siya, no? So of course, in order for us to convert this decimal right here, ito, decimal man yung ito, pag i-divide natin yung food with the total bill, we are going to be multiplying this by 100. Yan, para maging siya, percentage, no? So yan, that's for the food percentage. And then next is water, no? Water bill. So of course, we're going to water percentage na naman yung sunod. And para madali tayo, no, we could copy this everything right here, kasi yung same pa rin naman na formula yung gagamitin natin, no? So let's just highlight this one and then copy, and then let's just done. Okay, and we'll be replacing this with water. Para ito, na computation na to, this is for the water percentage. Okay, next we have electricity is equals to ganun pa rin, paste natin, and then let's change this to electricity. And then lastly, we have the transportation bill, of course. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yan, okay. Then ito, percentage. Sorry, I forgot pala yung parenthesis. Okay, and then I'll just paste pa rin, same as what we did kanina, and then I'll just replace this one with transportation. And yun. Okay, so we're done with the pag-compute ng mga percentage, no, for each bill. And next one is the savings. So, of course, given a certain income, tapos ito yung total bill natin, ilan ba yung masasave natin? So, in order for us to, uh, since we're going to present din sa output yung savings, so we need to also create a savings na variable din. And then yung value niya will be equal to this formula, no? Which is yung income subtract natin by the total bill. So, yun. Okay. And sige. Now, so at this point, let's have a check if kung ano if you're done with this. Kindly type compute at the comment section if you're done with this part, no? Kasi yung next part nito is medyo mahaba-haba, no? And I just have to cut it right here, though. Okay. Again, type compute for those already done with this part of the portion of this code. Okay. So let's just wait for a couple of seconds for the others, no, to catch up. Oh, sorry for that. I forgot to ano pala yung the mic. Anyway, going back to my apologies for that. Um, again, I presented to you again the income class kasi this is the next part that we're going to be making, no, which is we need for our program to determine kung ano yung income class ng income ng user, no. So again, with these following income classes, yung gagawin natin, if you're familiar with the one that I have talked about a while ago, which is if else statements, no, we can use that concept in order for us to determine the income class of our income, no. So okay, so let me go back to the code. Wait now. And okay, so I'll be lalagyan ko dito ng ano, practice guided po tayo. Determine income class. So, yan, okay. And then, as I mentioned, no, we'll be using an if-else condition. No? So the first part is we're going to check, using the if-else condition, no, if-else statement, we're going to check first if yung income is a lower income class. No? So how do we do that? We could simply type this one if income is less than lower income max. Yan. And then kung if that's the case, if true yung condition na to, we'll be defining a income class variable. Tapos yung value nito will be a string. And by the way, make sure na you may use double quote, by the way, dalawang single quote, or dalawang double quote. So, ano na lang siguro para di tayo ma-confuse, no? Kasi some participants na they forgot nga yung double quotes yung double quotes na to, napapagkamala nila nga dalawang single quote. So, in order for you to na lumabas tong double quote, you make sure that you hold the shift key sa keyboard mo. Yan. So, para di tayo malito, let's just have it na lang, single quote na lang, no? Yan. Okay. And then, between the single quotes, we're going to enter the characters lower income class, like that. And yan. So, we're done with our first condition, no? Which is, assuming that kung true to, ito yung income class natin, no? Our variable will be equal to this string. But, if false naman, so we have to check naman if nasa middle income class ba yung input, ay yung income, no? So, in this next part po, I'm going to introduce to you with this keyword called else, ELIF. We read this as else if, by the way. This else if. Ito yung pag-pronounce siya, else if. No? Yung Python, yung you just shortens it to elif, but this is pronounced as else if. Okay? Kasi the reason we have else if is because we're going to check another condition na naman. No? In this case, we'll be checking if the income is fall ba siya sa middle income. So, ito lang yung gagawin natin. Income is greater than, just copy this one na lang para madali tayo. And then, add a keyword and. Income less than upper income max. And then, colon. Now, make sure every time na meron kang condition, you have a colon. Kasi kung walang colon, mag-error pa yung code natin. And, okay. So, basically, dalawa. No? In this second part ng if-else statement natin, we have two conditions na kailangan natin maging true. No? First is kailangan maging true to, which is the income should be greater than the lower income max. And also, at the same time, no, kaya we have here the and keyword, no. At the same time, dapat true din to. So, both of these conditions must be true para ma-execute yung program natin dito sa baba sa else if, which is same pa rin, in class is equals to middle income class. Yan. And then, last but not the least, we have, we're going to check na kung ano talaga, kung income is in the lower income or false pa rin to. So, wala na ibang choice. We're going to assign the income class to upper income class. Okay, so yan. That's it for this part. No? So, for those, I'm sorry, no. S pala to. For those already done with this part, kindly type income class. Income class at the comment section. Okay, let's just wait for the others to finish before we proceed. Okay. So, wait lang. Okay, so I guess majority have already done with this part. So, alito na po tayo sa last portion of our program, which is finally, we're going to output na yung lahat ng yung computations natin, tsaka yung income class. We already determined everything, no? From the bills to the percentage of each bill, the savings, and as well as the income class. And the last one is we're going to print them all together, no? So let's have here a comment that ilagay natin ang print summary. Yeah. And the first one is I'm going to type here this keyword right here, print. No? Print, tapos may open close parentheses, and then let's just have it single quote na lang. And then let's enter summary. So basically, this line 29 po, itong line 29, simply, kung ano yung nakalagay dito, between the parentheses, ito yung ipiprint ito yung ilalabas sa output mamaya. Okay? So basically, ito yung ipiprint ng program natin. Literally, summary string. Okay? So next, we're going to print another one. And this time, we have, this is going to be quite different from the print kanina. We will be starting with the F keyword, and then we'll have a single quote. And then within the single quote, enter this open and close curly brace. So for those who are wondering, asan yung open and close curly brace, it's right here at the enter, yung katabi sa letter P. And then within this curly braces, we have income. Yeah. Now, I'll be explaining this in a short while. But for now, let's just follow through the code. Okay. And then we have here another open close curly brace. Inside the curly brace is income class. Okay. Excuse me. Now, to give you a basic explanation what's going on right here. So yung nangyari is this will print also this one, income colon, itong mga characters na to, income colon, and then what we have here is itong curly brace na to. So kung ano yung value nito, whatever is the value of this, which is basically 25,000, yun yung next characters right after this colon and then space. And then after that, we have a space character followed by a dash character and then another space character. And then this one right here, if we have another open close curly brace na naman, no? So kung ano yung what's in between these curly braces, which is in this case income class, no? Kung ano yung value nito, income class na to, yun yung isasali din sa. So if we're going to combine this all together, this income colon the value of this income variable dash character and then income with the value of this income class. So later makikita natin yan, no, when we're going to be running executing our program. Next we have food, and then ganun pa rin. And of course, this time, itong next code na to is we're going to print yung food na mismo. Ilan ba yung, kasi nga, this is a summary, so we'll be printing again, magkano ba yung bill natin sa food, followed by its percentage. Tapos, now here's the catch. Wait lang Let me add a percent dito. No? Percent ng character. Now, in this, etong food percentage na to, this is most likely be a decimal. So, the decimal places could range from siguro mga 5 decimal places. Depende na lang yan. So, we want to control this one na gawin natin 2 decimals lang yung ipiprint dito. So, we have to introduce colon, tapos period, then 2 na F. So, ganun. Okay. And yan. That's it for the food bill and yung percentage niya. Next, by the way, ika-copy paste ko na lang to para madali tayo. I'll just highlight this one kasi ganun lang din naman po with the rest, no. Next one is yung water. And let's just make sure nga everything is the same. Yan. Next, we have electricity. And then let's just make sure also just electricity, and then this one is electricity, and then this one is transportation. Yeah. Okay, and then last is after the percentage of each bill, ipiprint na natin or output na natin yung total bill. So we're just going to total bill, and then since we want to display the value of the total bill right after these characters, so curly brace pa rin, and inside of these curly braces, total bill. Yung variable natin na total bill. And then we add PHP. Okay? PHP by the pesos, no? Yung ano. Okay, and then the last one is the savings, no? 'Di ba yun yung last na output natin, no? If you may savings ba or wala, no? So, we have a condition, right? If else condition na naman. Yung condition natin, if you're just going to check lang if the savings is greater, equal ba sa 0. Then colon. And then kung true to, if this condition is true, I just print the following. Also, you are in budget and you save savings PHP. Right lang. Oh yeah, tama pala. I have to double check pa pala, no. Going back pala dito, it should be ano pala, equal. Yeah. Okay, so balik tayo dito. Yan, this is the out. Ito yung mangyayari. If magiging true to, savings is greater than equal to 0, so nakasave tayo and we have to print the following. You are in budget and you save something, pesos. Else, okay, so kaya wala tayong else if kasi dalawa lang naman yung yung possibles, either you have savings or not. So kung false tong the line 36 na condition, you just have to copy na lang ito. You are in short of budget. You need savings. Now, Okay, here's the catch with this one. Most likely this will be negative, no? Kasi there's a possibility na mas malaki yung bill kaysa sa savings. So kung ima-minus natin yan, this will be negative. So in order for us to print a positive number right here, no, we need to multiply the savings by negative 1. By the way, this is asterisk. No? And then this one is a dash. So we represent negative numbers by using the dash character. Input lang yung dash, then followed by 1, and then PHP. Okay, so if you have followed along with the code and assuming that everything is intact, no? So let's run. And there you go. We have here our uh, output right here. So let's just follow along. Income is 35,000. Middle income class of our. Wait. Hmm. I guess it doesn't work pala, no? Yung single quote. Let's just ano na lang pala, double quote na lang. Let me just ano na lang correct this quickly for those yung follow. Again, if you want to have a double quote, make sure na you press the shift and then followed by the quote. I guess it doesn't work. Right? Just run it this time once more. And oh, wait. Sorry about that. Ayun, okay. Fine. Wait lang. It's not strange. Let me just troubleshoot this quickly. Strange. Oh, yeah. Ay, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to add pala the if. Yan. Ito yung pinaka, no, apologies, no, for technical inconveniences. We need to add pa pala the F. So, by the way, this is what we call as string interpolation because yung string natin is we are introducing variables in between the strings. Kaya we have to add pa pala yung F. Wait lang. I think that's strange. Let me know in the comments if you have output in your code. Type output kung may meron bang output yung code nyo. I'm not so sure if this is just on my end or perhaps it's quite different. So kindly type output if you have kung may output yung code nyo. Ayun, okay. Okay, so I guess it's on the platform pala. No? It took a couple of trials before nag-ano na siya. So yun, finally, um, this should be the expected output of our program. So yun, eto na pala. So yun kanina, apologies lang. No? All we need to have is just the F lang pala. Kaya pala hindi siya nag-work because we have forgotten to put an F right here. Yeah. And so let me just trace lang the program, the output of our program. Again, with the income natin, according here, income class, food is water. And you notice yung we have 2 decimal places lang as indicated right here. So, yeah. Total. And then, nakasave ba tayo? Yes, we are in budget and you save 15,000.5 pesos. So, you can change values on that's it for today's coding workshop, and thank you for those who have successfully finished their program. Congratulations, you have made your first program using Python. That would be all, and thank you.
Okay, so I think you're done with the workshop, coding workshop. So thank you so much, Stephen. All right. So for those who are not yet done with their code, you can find the full code at bit.ly/CYF dash mar 22 full code. And you will need to send your screenshot of your full code to get the full certificate or your digital certificate. And of course, for certificate of participation, you can submit your information via bit.ly/CYF dash mar 22 cert. Okay. So congratulations everyone. You have successfully run your code for 40 minutes and you still have a lot of learning opportunities ahead of you. Again, thank you so much, Stephen, for sharing your knowledge with our participants for today. And I hope to see you next time on another coding workshop of CYF. And of course, whether you're okay, so let's move forward. So thank you again, Stephen. So whether you're a career shifter or a graduating student who is interested in pursuing a career in tech and would love to start their career or their journey as a programmer or developer, our full stack coding bootcamp might be something for you. So you can submit your application and reserve your bootcamp slots now at bit.ly/StackTrek bootcamp application. So yan, nakikita ba nila yung code? Okay, sige. See full code at again, if you want to see the full code, if you're not finished now with the coding earlier, you can see the full code at bit.ly/CYF dash mar22 full code. And again, for your certificate of participation, you can submit your information at bit.ly/CYF dash mar22 cert. So, ayan. So, again, before we end this one, here are some announcements, no? So, if you have any questions about the bootcamp, message us at our Facebook page. So, it's fb.com/StackTrek. Again, if you're interested, no, to jumpstart your career or start your career at the tech industry as a programmer or developer, our full stack bootcamp or coding bootcamp might be something for you. Okay. So Stack League is conducting tech sessions with digital certificates. So if you're interested in enhancing more or learning more about the IT industry or the tech industry, you can join different or numerous Stack League events. So we have on March 30, that's Stack League Manulife IT Delivery Center Tech Session. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. on March 30. You can reserve your slot via bit.ly/stackleague-mitdc. And you can also join our Stack League Likha IT Tech session, Ruby on Rails workshop on April 1. That's Saturday, 9 a.m. at Likha IT office, Makati City. So reserve your slot at bit.ly/stackleague-likha IT. And of course, we also have our Stack League Flutter PH Tech session, Introduction to Flutter on April 11th. That's Tuesday. You can reserve your slot via bit.ly/stackleague-EPR11. So you can email us also at info@stacktrek.com if you have any questions with regards to our upcoming events, upcoming announcements, or you just have any queries about the company. So you can also get the latest updates for our Coding Future workshop via facebook.com/StackTrek/events. And of course, don't forget to join our Code Your Future FB community if you want to be, mingling with other coders, no, or if you want to mingle with other professionals there. And also, if you want to be part of our team in terms of organizing events, you want to be host, you want to showcase your skills, you can join as a volunteer. All right. So on behalf of StackTrek team, again, I would like to say thank you to everyone for joining the Code Your Future 40 minutes coding workshop for non-coders in partnership with DICT Region 11 and University of Mindanao. This has been your host, King, and have a great day ahead. Goodbye.